What's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new short movie. The name of the short movie is What If Naruto Could See the Future, and yeah guys, it is an unscripted short movie. Now before continuing this, shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to my boy Shiroz for suggesting this idea. Now please stay tuned because I will be doing one by one your ideas, and yeah, I'm really grateful that you liked the 15k special idea that I did on my own. It was just that you had such awesome and amazing ideas. I just didn't know what to do. I was getting frustrated at the same time, quite scared because the deadline was already crossed. Well, and yeah, we were getting closer and closer to 15,100 subscribers. I didn't want to do 15k special then. I wanted to do it early as possible. Anyway, still, I'm grateful everything went well, and yeah, you guys loved it. Thankfully. And yeah, as for your ideas, please be patient. I'm working on it, starting with Shiro's idea today. So yeah, I'm gonna go one, idea at a time, and hopefully within this month we'll be able to cover all of your ideas at least. Anyways, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And yeah, without any further ado, let's begin with our today's short movie. Story begins in Konoha Gakure Sato on the night of October 10th, after the Kyuubi attack, as we see young baby infant Naruto spending his time all alone inside a room while the adults in the room next door were bickering with one another like little children, and the yelling could be heard even across the whole Konoha Gakure Sato. Because tonight, Konoha has lost a lot of things. Most of its shinobis and konomichis, a lot of civilians, and their Hokage as well. Fortunately enough, their predecessor Hokage was still alive, and he had to retake the mentality of the acting leader of the said village, and he was currently busy defending the child that was resting on the other side. I am telling you all again and again, that child didn't have any say in this. He's just an innocent kid who holds the very thing that almost destroyed our home. This is our chance to finally defeat the Biju. I know what we will do is quite bad, but this is a small price to pay for what has done and what could be avoided in the future, Hiruzen, said Homura, as the others also agreed to this. Even the shinobis were on this because they know that they have lost way too much. Most of their clansmen have died tonight as well. And I am telling you and reassuring you all over and over again that the boy is completely fine and the Biju is completely sealed off. Have little faith in Minato. With all due respect to Kage-sama, said Shikaku Nara, we have faith in Minato, and so in Kushina, but even after that, what did happen? The Biju still got free, and we lost them and their family. Poor their child. It was supposed to be their best day, and what happened? Alongside the child, the two of them perished as well. We can't go on like this, Okage-sama. That thing is dangerous. Then how about this? You can give that child to me, Hiruzen. I will make sure that the child is kept alive, and I will also reassure you all that the boy will be trained properly to be an acting weapon of Konoha. As Hiruzen then said, but Hiruzen, said Homura, we as the whole council agree to this, because this is the only option in which you and both us can win and live peacefully come to a conclusion. What do you mean by that? This is not a conclusion, this is forcement. And you are forcing us all to believe that that thing is normal. Danzo, on the other hand, has reassured you and us as well. As Hiruzen was taken aback by this and knew that he had no other choice but to give in, and so he did. Danzo was handed off with Naruto. As now we see Naruto being taken care of by root shinobis for the time being in the root base. But something was going on deep within his own mindscape. As we see, the Kyuubi no Yoko was ramming his head against and again the bars that were his prison in his new Jinchuriki. Damn it, not again. 100 years later, I had a small window, and no, I had to take revenge on them. Even if they deserved it, I could have gotten away, and later on came back to finish the job. And that accursed damn Uchiha. Because of them, twice I was sealed, said the QB with a snarl on his face, as that is when he felt a warm familiar chakra, as his eyes widened. As he then immediately wrapped his hand around to see that there was a bright light from which a levitating man appeared in white robes with a black staff resting in his lap. My son, rage has almost consumed you. As Kurama's eyes narrowed, Father, how is this possible? Is this that man's genjutsu still? I'm afraid not. This is not a genjutsu, son. I am really here. Father, how is this possible? How can you be here? I am dead. I am here to bring forth the gift that has been sent to Kami for this child. What? Said Kurama, being taken aback by that. You? Why would Kami? Because I was regarded as a sage, a saint of a sort within the land, so my soul was given this task to deliver this, power to the child. It is far from chakra and can be unlocked with teachings, and I know someone who will teach this to the boy. As Kurama, after thinking for a moment, realized as his eyes narrowed, No! I know where you're going with this. I'm not gonna take responsibility of this brat. And why should I? With all due respect, Father, their kind have done nothing more than to torture us. Me and my siblings have been on the receiving end of hatred again and again for no reason, being called and considered a demon for not even being realized or understood or even asked a question of if we are who they claim to be or not. I am done with that. Listen to me, son. Father, please, your ideology? I'm afraid I'm beginning to think that it was just that. A dream. Nothing more than that. My son, do not lose hope, because I haven't lost any. And I believe that you, alongside this child, will bring forth the great change. And I too have realized one thing, as you say. What have you realized? That these people cannot be saved, at least not all of them. They have taken these powers for granted. The powers that I gave them was for the reason to connect with one another, to be peaceful, to make sure the peace prevails. But they have turned it into a weapon. Yes, Father. And they are even weaponizing us. They think that this is their birthright to do as they please. I know, son. And I am extremely disappointed in them. And that is why I am here to pass down my Rinnegan abilities to the boy as well. As Kurama's eyes widened after hearing this. What? But Father, are you sure about this? As that is when Hagoromo then said, stopping Kurama. Before that, or anything else, with a snap of his finger, we see that the seal that was holding back Kurama were removed, and the seal matrix from Naruto's stomach disappeared, as if it never existed. And soon after that, Minato and Kushina's souls were there, as they were allowed to stay inside Naruto's mindscape for the time being, but in a comatose state, as only they will be awakened when Naruto will be at the age of understanding, at the age of 10. That was the age considered by Hagoromo of the age of understanding. Before that, he wanted the boy to bond with his son. I have made them hibernate, Kurama. They will wake up eventually within 10 years. I am giving you that much time, son, with a task of my own. I want you to form a bond with the boy. A bond of trust. A bond of friendship, like a brother would. Father, you're asking way too much, I'm afraid. I don't believe I can form any sort of bond with anyone. I trust in you, Kurama. Even if they claim you to be the Kyuubi no Yoko, the reincarnate of hatred or so on. They're nothing more than fake titles that they have given you, after only seeing a bit of your rage. Or tantrum, as I say. Father! Enough, my child. Please, I beg of you. Do this for me? Fine. I would do this gladly for you. And you don't have to beg, you know. I know, son. Thank you. As after that, Hagoromo delivered the powers and abilities and instructions to how to teach Naruto to use them to Kurama, and then he gave the boy his Rinnegan, which will be awakened the same day the boy will meet his parents. As after that we see Hagoromo looked towards Kurama as Kurama was looking at his father. As Hagoromo patted his son's head once more, as Kurama then said, "I'm gonna miss you again, father. And this time I'll send you off with a proper goodbye. I know, son. I miss all of you. All of my children. And I believe that you will find a better friend and a better brother in him if you put a trust and effort into this relationship. I will try. I know you would. Thank you, Kurama, once more. And goodbye, my son. Goodbye, father." As after that, Hagoromo Otsutsuki, giving his blessing to both Kurama and Naruto, disappeared. As now, Kurama was resided inside the mindscape with his own free will because his father told him to do so, as he had huge responsibility with the powers that was granted to him to give to the boy. As now we have a time skip of 6 years later, as we go toward the root base where we see inside a huge room was laying a child of 6 years of age in a puddle of red. It was his own blood, as his whole body was covered with scars and wounds, as he had a lot of internal bleeding going on as well, as Naruto was coughing blood as his whole body was aching. As on the other side of the room stood Danzo Shimura, as he then said, "Stop. If you do any more, the boy will die." And I don't want to answer Hiruzen all nagging why the boy died. And you damn brat, you better prepare yourself because I'm gonna put you to dirt even more harder the next time. And you have to try your hardest to survive because next time I won't even care if you are at the brink of death or even die. He will not be treated for a whole 2 days. Let him be like this as punishment for not being able to keep up and meet my expectations. And as for the time being, you all go and continue your training. Danzo-sama, where would you like to put him? You throw him into the alleyway. Let people have their fun for the 2 days. This will teach the brat to be quite listenful. As this was Naruto's life, continuous torture 24/7. As soon as Naruto was able to walk, he was put through this torture every day of his life. And whenever Danzo was around each week, he was put to dirt even more harder from the previous week even further. And now he has been able to survive this hell for the past 5 or 6 years, as now his 6th birthday was approaching soon, as he was laying in an alleyway in the cold night. All his wounds were aching, and the cherry on top was the winter and the cool breeze that was blowing by. And soon in that winter chilly night, the rain began to fall down, further adding on to his already wounded injuries in body, as Naruto was in deep agonizing pain and cold now. As Naruto could only think of one thing. Why him? What did he do to deserve this? And the other thing was he wanted revenge. He wanted them all to suffer. He hated how the people laughed, how that man thought he could do anything he wished to do so, as he pleased. His hatred grew so much that within his mindscape even Kurama was alarmed by the hatred that the boy was releasing. And at that moment, something happened. The boy tapped into his chakra, and not alone his chakra, he tapped into the Nine-Tails chakra as well. As Kyuubi was quite shocked that his hatred-filled chakra was going through the veins and chakra coils of the boy. And what happened next was a bloody massacre, as more than 800 civilians and shinobis combined were killed, from Ganin's Konomichis to all the way to Jonin's and Iwadanbu's. And Naruto was restrained and heavily chained and thrown into a prison ward where Danzo continued his torture and correction. And on the other side, the council was threatening Hiruzen that he should be feeling guilty because this is all his fault, and they should have put that brat to rest before things could have gone this far. As now we see inside the mindscape, as after Naruto was passed out cold from Danzo's beating again and again, as the blood was dripping from all the wounds to the ground, Naruto woke up in front of the Kyuubi, who was looking at him with tired eyes. "Are you finished?" "What do you mean? What did I do to deserve this?" "So you're not afraid of me?" "Why should I? Heck, I am not even afraid of death. I don't care if I die as well. These people have done nothing more than to harm me. And you know what? I'm tired of it. I'd rather harm them before they could harm me. As that is when Kurama saw what his father was trying to teach. The boy has been in continuous and agonizing pain for as long as he has been alive, without any sort of comfort or even a gentle touch comforting him or making him soothe away from his pain. There was no escape for him. So Kurama realized what he had to do. Listen to me, kid. I have been with you since birth. I have been trying my best to come up with a reason to talk to you because I am the one who made your life living hell. You're not the one who did this. They are. But I am the very reason why they think that they should hate you. I don't care what they think or think not. They just shouldn't hate me because I haven't done any fucking thing to them, said 6-year-old Naruto, as Kurama then said. I see. So you don't blame me, but you hate them for blaming you for something you haven't done. Quite a surprise. Listen, if you want to make fun of me or something, then you just say it to my face. Or get over with if you want to kill me. I know I can't fight a Biju alone. So you do know who I am. Of course, they all call me the damn QB, this QB, that QB brat. I don't know why, but now I knew what was the reason when I saw you, QB. My name is not QB, it is Kurama. That is just a title given to me by these humans. I see. So you even have a name. Of course I do. Listen to me, kid. How about this? How about I allow you to meet with your parents, but they cannot speak to you because they are in a, comatose state. What? Are you crazy or insane to think that I would buy this? Look to that side. You will see that your parents are in a sleep-like state. As Naruto saw there, to see two figures were floating. One red-haired woman, and the other one was blonde-haired man. And Naruto immediately realized who it was. That's the fourth Hokage. But how is he here? Wasn't he dead? Of course. This is a part of his soul alongside your mother's that he sealed within you when he sealed me, to make sure they act as a failsafe if anything happens. But my father granted them the ability to live within your mindscape. Without the, drawback of leaving your mindscape as soon as they awaken. They can stay as long as you want or they want. As Naruto's eyes widened after he heard that. Who is your father? That would be the sage of the sixth path. The man who gave life to not only me but my other siblings, the other Bijus, and gave you all the chakra. As Naruto was taken aback by that. I see. So he did this for me. Why would he do that? Because, Naruto, you are blessed. Blessed? Me? I think you have just forgotten how trash and hell of a life my have been for the past, I don't know, how long have I been alive? 5-6 years? Listen to me, kid. You were and are blessed by Kami with the ability to see future, and my father blessed you with his Rinnegan, his power, his dojutsu. You can use all the 6 spots of the sage and their full abilities. They're at your disposal. As Naruto was taken aback by this now. So you mean to say that I have these powers all along? Yes. I was the one who was hesitant. I did not know when was the right time to interact with you, because I have never been good with humans and have always thought of me as they have thought of them. As after that, we see Naruto then said, so you're going to be my friend? That depends, kid. Would you give me the chance to be your friend? I do, I guess, said Naruto. As after that, while Naruto, was visually hurt and quite, wounded, it wouldn't hurt Naruto because there was a thick chakra coating over his internals, organs and skin, so and his pain receptors were completely numbed out by Kurama so that he couldn't feel any pain. And inside Naruto's mindscape, Kurama and Naruto began their journey to train. And for the next 3 years, Danzo did nothing more than correction for Naruto to make sure his mind was broken. And he reached at the age of 10 within those 3 years. As now we see, it was October 10th and nighttime as Naruto was still sealed within a room with chains, holding his legs and arms as well as his waist and neck, impaled next to a wall, almost. As now we see, inside Naruto's mindscape, Naruto was done training as he heard a voice from behind him. Naruto turned around to find that it was his father. Naruto? Is that you? Father? What? How did you? I don't know. All I heard was a voice that you will be awakened when the time is right, and you will meet your son. As next thing Naruto saw was a bolt of red, and he was on the ground in a bear grip hug by his mother. My son, Naruto, I can't believe I'm seeing you like this. As Kushina was crying, as that is when Naruto had a future vision, where he saw he, alongside his parents, watching Konoha burn as he heard screams atop of the Hokage monument, as in front of him laid Hiruzen Saro to be dead, and all of the Konoha people were killed. As this vision was shared between Kurama and both of the parents. As after that, Kurama then explained everything to his parents what happened, and after hearing the explanation we see there was a deafening silence as Kushina was still holding Naruto in a bear grip hug, as Minato was placing a hand on Naruto's shoulder while his other hand was clenched in a knuckle that was almost, if he could, bleed from his own hand from the grip that he was holding that fist with. He would, in the mindscape. I can't believe this. I knew Danzo would do this, but Hiruzen-sama giving in? No. This is bullshit. They promised me that they would respect my son. Fugaku, Shikaku, they were there when I announced to Hiruzen that he was my legacy, my child. They did nothing? As now we see, Kushina then said, I told you. I warned you again and again, Minato. Uzumaki's always put their family first besides anything else, and you put Konoha first in front of your family. And look what happened. It cost us almost our son. And he has been through hell from as long as he has been alive, and it is all our fault. You're right. It has been my fault. Listen to me, son. I'm so sorry. I did not want this for you. I wanted you to be considered a hero. I wanted you to be respected and maybe follow my footsteps if you could. But Konoha has destroyed that. I'm nothing more than one of them who aided them in destroying your life, son. I am so sorry I failed you as a father. As Minato was crying at this point, as Naruto gave him a hug. It's alright. You put your trust in just false people who gave you false belief and hope. We all did. Isn't that right, Kajan? As Kushina was still on the verge of tears. As that is when Kurama then said, so, I guess you're on board after hearing that. Bored, you say, Kurama, was it? I'm gonna destroy that village with my own bare hands if I could. I think we can. How is that possible, Naruto? I know, just. But first I have to endure this for a little longer. What? As after that, we have a time skip of 3 years later, as Danzo was currently inside a council meeting and bragging about his weapon. And today, as I mentioned at the beginning of this meeting, I will present to you with my weapon that I have created. The perfect attack dog for Konoha, the perfect Jinchuriki Hiruzen. Made Naruto Uzumaki, aka Fox, codename, and our Jinchuriki. As soon as Naruto landed there, we see everyone was quite impressed. So the demon has grown, huh? That is quite something. As immediately Naruto disappeared without any warning and cut at the throat of Danzo. What? Danzo-sama is dead, as that is when the whole room was locked. You think we would, as before anyone could finish, they all felt tired and exhausted, and they were frozen to their seats, not even capable of moving an inch or a muscle. Ah, poor bastards. You thought that I wouldn't know, would you, Shikaku? And you, Fugaku, Hiruzen. You thought that I wouldn't find out. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I found out who my parents are, who my heritage is. And before you say the goddamn demon or so on, meet my little friend, or should I say big friend. Look in front of you. As their gaze went towards the outer window where they saw the huge visage of the Kyuubi no Yoko, causing destruction everywhere. Well, you look at that. Your demon is right there and I'm still standing here. Now you see what you have done? Harmed a little poor boy all his life, as the people were shocked to find out that they have been harming an innocent soul. But I'm not gonna take a revenge on you. Why should I even dirty my hand stepping so low, right? Because I did not knew that you did not knew, as all of them felt relief. But I will bring those forward who did knew. As that is when two figures appeared from Naruto's clone, as the smoke disappeared on as Naruto's clones hinged into the form of Minato and Kushina. As Minato and Kushina's soul took over them for the time being. You bastards! You promised me! I knew you three heard, and yet you did this to my son! As after that Minato began to use his Harishin, going outside the village using Rasengan after Rasengan to destroy the parts of villages. Kushina went rampant as well. And so did Kurama, as Naruto, grabbing Hiruzen and said, "Let's go and enjoy the first row seat, should we not?" As now we see, within half an hour, Konoha was turned into nothing more than a pile of hell, which was just filled with flames everywhere, as screams of the Konoha citizens could be heard. As on the other side, on top of Hokage Monument, Naruto with a kunai slit the throat of Hiruzen Sarutobi, who watched at his dying breaths the village burn. And Naruto gave that kunai to Minato, as the three of them stood and took in the scene of the village being destroyed. So this was the vision, huh? Quite a useful power. But Naruto, you shouldn't use this on innocent. As Naruto looked towards his father, I know. Now we need to find a place to lay low. I don't even know where we should go. So you just thought of this plan at this point, and after that nothing? It was my first plan, I guess. So yeah, after this I have nothing on me. I have endured their torture for 13 years. And I think they still got off quite lightly. That is true, Naruto. That is very true. So, enough about this yapping. How about we go to the ruins of the Uzushiogakure? Said Kurama. Why there? Said Kushina. I mean, that is the most least place where anyone would search for him if they are alive. Mostly Jiraiya and Tsunade, if I'm talking correctly. Oh, I forgot about him. Said Naruto, as he looked towards his father, who was still gritting his teeth. It's okay, father. Like them, he too broke your trust. But he was my sensei. He told me that he considered me his son. And I was foolish enough to believe that. I forgot that in this shinobi world, you should always expect the unexpected and look underneath the underneath. The first basic lesson they taught me, actually, that I forgot and trusted them way too casually. Isn't that right, Kushina? That is correct indeed, Minato. That is correct indeed. So, should we go there or what? We are going there. As the four of them begin their journey towards Uzushiogakure ruins. As after 1 week of these events, the news spread out like wildfire of what happened to Konoha, as the nine-tailed beast destroyed it. As now we see, atop of the Hokage monument where the rotting body of Hiruzen Sarutobi was, stood Jiraiya of the Sun alongside with Tsunade Senju herself. I can't believe this. It is obvious what happened here. I don't even need to do an autopsy, Jiraiya. It was a murder, wasn't it? Of course it was. And the whole village just being gone. I mean, I knew this place was cursed, but I did not thought for a moment that this own curse would consume it. Enough, Tsunade. We just lost our home. Please at least have the decency to show them that you are sorry. But who would do this? As both of them were left with this question to think and ponder about, all to themselves. While on the other side in Uzushiogakure, we see that Naruto, Minato, and Kushina and Kurama have moved there with the 2 coffins that they have stolen from Konoha's graveyard, and those belong to Minato and Kushina, the unmarked graves. As thanks to Kurama and Hiruzen spilling the beans in order to try his best to save his life, Naruto found out through him where they were buried. And after that, all he had to do was use his technique, the Rinnegan's path of rebirth, to reincarnate them. As after focusing his chakra and learning the proper hand seals from Kurama, he was able to summon the King of Hell, Enma, the disciple of Shinigami, from he traded the soul of Danzo Shimura and Hiruzen's heart for exchange of his parents, and the exchange was done. And so now we see both his parents were revived completely and reincarnated back into their bodies, as both Minato and Kushina in the form of clones disappeared from Naruto's mindscape. As soon as they did, their memories went to their original bodies, as now we see both Minato and Kushina stood there. Son, we're really back. As Naruto with shedded tears rushed to his parents and gave them a hug, as the family of Trio cried with a happy reunion that they had after 13 years of them being dead and being apart, while their son endured torture every day and every night. While their happy reunion was going on the other side back at Konoha, we see Jiraiya had found out something. What do you think, Jiraiya? It's obvious. One boy wasn't here. Naruto. You think he had done this? Quite possibly. I mean, he is the Jinchuriki, and Kyuubi would have, went above and beyond to control that poor boy. I heard that the poor boy was tortured, Jiraiya. From what Sensei wrote in his letters, it was for his own good. It was the only option to make sure that he was at least alive, to keep Minato's legacy alive. We had no other choice. What do you mean? How could you and Sensei allow this to happen? We had no other choice, Tsunade. We had to do what we had to do, and that is the end of it. You think we did this because we were happy? No. We did this because we had no other choice, and we wanted him to at least be alive through this all. Don't give me that sad bullshit story, Jiraiya. I'm out of here. And I couldn't believe that you and Sensei would agree to such a disgusting thing. I'm glad that this village is done for. As after that, Jiraiya was left on his own with a new mission in mind. Find Naruto, and if he's redeemable, redeem him. And if not, put an end to him once and for all. As now we see, Jiraiya, through the help of his spy network, began his journey. As on the other side, in Amegakure, the base of the red clouds, we see a meeting was taking place between the Akatsuki. So as you have heard a few weeks prior of this meeting, whole Konoha Gakure has been destroyed by the Kyuubi no Yoko and its Jinchuriki. So this means they're out there somewhere. We have to find them, locate them, and bring the Nine Tails in as fast as we can. As this was going on in Amegakure, the other villages have been scared of their Jinchurikis and have been just sending them out of the village, kicking them out. As this, fortunately enough, one night Naruto had a vision, and Naruto went out of his way alongside Kurama to gather each and every one of the Jinchurikis, bringing them in. Even B and Ujito, who have been treated well at one point, have kicked them out, seeing the rage of the Bijus. They were beginning to mistreat as well from their own family and friends around them. As after meeting with most of the Jinchurikis, we see they begin to form their own village, the village of the outcast within the Uzushiogakure. As Naruto, at that point, after listening to the story about and the past of the Uzushio, decided something. I think it is high time we did something for this village as well. I can't believe that I'm saying this, but I think I want revenge for my ancestors. They have been killed by Kumo, Iva, and Kiri. I hope we don't care about them. They have shown how fast they can change colors and stab us in the back. We promise we won't be a trouble to you, Naruto. You gave us home when we were kicked out of our own. And we don't want the same thing to happen here. I won't kick you out even if you disagree with me. I'm not that heartless. As after that, we see Naruto used his ultimate ability, almost exhausted himself to death with chakra exhaustion after using this technique, their ultimate rebirth, and reincarnated each and every one of the Uzumakis that has been fallen, from the legends all the way to the normal soldiers, as well as more than thousands of Uzumakis were revived that day. And what happened next? The wave of red took over Kiri and consumed it with its own, as Uzushio began to spread its wing. Within just a few weeks of its survival, Uzushio began its conquest. First was Mizugakure, and then it was Iva, the most arrogant out of the all and the weakest of them all as well, even weaker than the Mizu, who went through a civil war, and it too was conquered. And soon after that, we see Kumo and Suna were the ones left. Naruto made sure what happened to Gaara was similar to him, so he destroyed Suna without any mercy. And as for Kumo, he beat the hell out of them and scared them to the point that they wouldn't dare mess with the Uzushiogakure anymore. And now the new map of the elemental nations came to existence, as the whole map was in the red with the Uzumaki swirl on it, and there was a small tiny spot aside from that. That was Kumogakure itself. Even the Wind Nation, the Cloud Nation, was consumed by the Uzushiogakure itself. And the Uzumakis and everyone that lived under them were now in a new dynasty of the Uzumakis. The first new king, Naruto Uzumaki, was made, as Naruto was a kind and just king who went through hell, and his parents made sure, alongside his ancestors, that he was kind and just to anyone, and a ruthless being on the battlefield if their enemy, which let alone was just Kumo itself, tried to go against them, will be demolished. And as for Akatsuki, after the conquest of Amegakure and their defeat, which was humiliating to them, they went into hiding, but they were waiting. And in the meanwhile, one of their members, Setsu, began to formulate a new plan. A plan consisting of them all combining their strength to bring forth a new being of power, a human made out of chakra of their all. But in reality, he was making them all sacrifice to bring forth his mother, Kaguya Otsutsuki. And as soon as she did, Naruto had a vision before her. As now we see, in front of Naruto's kingdom, in front of his throne room, we see Kaguya Otsutsuki stood. "So you have arrived, my future wife," said Naruto, shocking everyone, and even Kaguya herself. "What do you mean, you damn mortal? You think after being betrayed by one I would... I know you have been betrayed, Kaguya-sama, but please, have a seat, and I will tell you everything. You see, I would have loved to have fought you, but I am not a man who loves violence. I want to resolve things with words if possible, and you... I saw a vision about you. You, me, and our children, Hagoromo and Homura, named after the sage and his brother, your previous children. They will be our children this time." "What are you talking about?" As after that, Naruto then said, "Give me your hand and I will show you a future of us." As Kaguya hesitantly did so as she was told, and what she saw, she was shocked. She really saw what Naruto was telling her. She saw both him and herself and their children playing around them, new blonde-haired Hagoromo and Homura, and the whole world was at peace. The Otsutsukis and humans have established a peaceful bond of a sort, where Otsutsukis can come here and live amongst them as well, without the fear of their tyrant Otsutsuki god. As after seeing this, Kaguya then looked at him. "But how can I... We can take things one step at a time. There is no need to hurry, I guess." As after that, we see time begin to pass by as Naruto from the age of 20 turned to the age of 25. As almost 5 years have went by, and even Kumo, after giving up, joined and formed alliance with, Uzushiogakure and became a part of its territory after surrendering. As now we see there was a marriage going on, as their king was finally choosing a bride, their queen, and it was the mother of the chakra herself, Kaguya Otsutsuki. And she, within these 5 years, have been turned around and made sure that she realized her own feelings and have fallen in love with Naruto herself. At first she thought that it was illusion that the boy showed her, but then she began to realize that this was her own feelings for the boy, because the boy was gentle with her and kind and always paid attention to her, and he didn't need any power. And she knew that the boy has went through hell, so she called back her Zetsu, her child, her will. And her will also approved of the new father that her mother has chosen for herself. And so began a peaceful era under the regime of the new king of the Uzushiogakure dynasty, with Kaguya Otsutsuki as the queen. A new age of shinobi was on the horizon, where the peace was inevitable. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this short movie off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace!